Pookie are at home. Yeah. There you go. So I mean that's kind of going to be.
Yeah.
I think that's a big factor, to be honest. Like we said, in part one, these guys kind of play well at home.
And this is a game that matters for both of these teams, right? 17th v 18th in the league.
They both came up from the Championship,
at the end of the season.
Yeah, they both came up from the Championship. They've both shown great signs. Obviously, early on, Norwich were the new boys on the block, doing really well. And Aston Villa, I think the last few games have really shown they're quite a solid team with quite a good defence as well. Tyrone Mings at the back has really impressed. Got in the England team recently, so it's going to be a great game. I'm looking forward to watching this game.
So you're saying a lot of passion. John McGinn to be sent off. Todd Cantwell hat-trick.
Absolutely.
Do you think, no, mate, is it going to be a case of the two new boys? Is Ricky Pellegrini? Do you think this is going to be a tight affair, or is it going to be a goal fest?
I think
neither want to lose.
I think it's going to be a bit like a Bournemouth West Ham game, to be honest with you. It's going to be open game. I think Norwich don't really, and I think they know it. They don't really have a solid defence, and I think their manager likes to set them up just to go out and attack, albeit be quite open at the back. So, and with Aston Villa, I think they have a more solid defence. I think they'll be harder to beat. I think it's going to be. I could see this being another 2-2.
Do you still have Grealish in your team?
I don't. No, I don't have Grealish. I would like to get him into the team.
And do you think he's better than McGinn?
No, I think if I had to choose between the two, I'd say McGinn.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I like how you say you'd like to get him in your team in some way, shape, or form. You clearly would not want him over any of your other players.
Well, to be honest,
you like him because you think you feel sorry for him because he got punched by someone from Birmingham. I mean, it wasn't even a good punch.
Jimmy Ferguson, you raised a great point about Cantwell, actually. I think he's the man at risk. What a perm. We love his perm. He's a man at risk for me. I've been looking at
because of his perm, or
because of his perm,
ladies or guys from West Ham going after
he's going to shave that perm off. His value
I think
just
he's,
drop.
but I don't believe he's going to be as strong as Pukki. This is just taking a different turn. That's another podcast. That's the late night podcast.
But left back in your bedroom
with Todd Cantwell.
He'll read you bedtime stories. But I think in all honesty, Cantwell might fizzle out. In all sense of the word,
I think so too.
I think I'm going to be looking over the next few weeks very closely at him. So, Cantwell, if you're listening to this, step it up, mate.
Yeah, you do need to, mate.
Watford, Sheffield United.
Wow, it's a juicy one.
0-0.
There'll be goals. Watford can't defend. I think Lundstrom's looking good in this one. I'm feeling confident.
That's
with
a good
him.
shout. Sheffield United are good at home, right?
Watford need a win, right? Watford really need a win. If they don't win this, they'd be in trouble this season probably as well. They need to turn their season around, and this could be the game where they do it.
Last time they played was 2007. These two teams. Sheffield United have surprised a few people this season, but again, it's really their home performances that have done it, and away, I don't see them doing it. I think Watford's going to win this, actually. I think it's going to be their first win of the season and the only team in the Premier League who haven't got a win.
I think Watford are going to win too. I think the Premier League sort of know-how is going to shine through. I think when you look at both teams and their sets of players, none of their players have got over sort of 25 points other than Lundstrom.
Yep.
And I would put him in my team. I see it being 1-0 Sheffield United.
And Lundstrom, though, he's worth getting in your team because he plays in midfield and his defence on hit. So he's worth it. Captain Russ, you're looking forward to Watford Sheffield United, aren't you?
Not Sheffield Wednesday.
Definitely not Sheffield Wednesday.
They're still not
Monday, mate.
Well, United, without a shadow of a doubt,
are going to beat Watford.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I think that the weekend that's just gone, their performance was. I think that's something that was I think a step up, and I think it kind of shows us what they are potentially. They have got something there that I think they're gonna. I think win 2-0.
Who?
Sheffield United.
I just asked. I knew you were going to say Sheffield Wednesday. Okay, so we think Sheffield United 2-0. That's Captain Russ. I'm going to controversially disagree with you. I'm going Watford. I think Watford are going to win this one.
Yeah.
I think Will Hughes and Andre Gray are going to be my two. Delafeo hasn't turned it on this season yet. He was all right last season.
This could be his weekend.
For me, Sheffield United don't really seem to have an out-and-out striker. They got that McBurney guy who looks like that guy from Lord of the Rings, the dwarf one. but a bigger version.
Cool, but they're all dwarves.
Yeah, Gimli. He's like Gimli, but a big version.
Robinson, I called him out early.
Just because he's Scottish, Barry won't be happy now.
What's his name, Barry?
I called out Robertson a few weeks back.
I'm sorry.
I called out Robertson a few weeks back because he showed signs of promise for Sheffield United. I think he's still their strongest promise going forwards. Billy Sharp, he was their biggest scorer last season.
Yeah, he got sent off though, didn't he?
He got sent off, and he also just hasn't really played much. You know,
because he got
He's only
sent
got
off.
one goal this
No,
season.
but what I mean is,
You're
before
right,
he got sent off, he was starting on the bench.
He's played
wasn't
64 minutes, mate, in 9 games. Sorry, 7 games. 64 minutes.
So there you have it.
Okay, guys, so Sheffield United, Watford. We're going Watford. Will Hughes, get him in if you want to. Andre Gray. If you do want to risk it on Sheffield United.
I think Lundstrom, he's gonna like do an assist and assist.
And Lundstrom's a good shout because this has got the chances of being a 0-0. And if there's going to be a sneaky goal, he could get it. But that said, we're back in Watford.
A cleanie.
We all like a cleanie.
We do.
Love a
Oh
cleanie.
God, a cleanie, eh?
Oh,
dreaming of it.
Fantastic.
Moving on. We have got the big one. We've got the battle of the Clarets. The Palace still playing claret? Can we call it claret? I guess they don't really. It's a loose claret.
It's claret-ish.
Maroon red.
Yeah.
Ricky Pellegrini, will you be down the pub on Saturday watching this game? The late kick-off?
I wish I could be, but unfortunately I will be at Six Flags with...
In the Hamptons?
not in the Hamptons this weekend, but I'll be at Six Flags this
You better
weekend.
not go
What's
back
Six
to
Flags, mate?
It's a theme park. It's a theme park,
Okay.
but I will try and sneak off for a
Flags.
cheeky
Okay,
beer and
Flags.
find a little sports bar.
There you go.
Within the theme park, if that's possible. Otherwise, I'll just take that.
So Alton Towers for our UK listeners.
Exactly.
He'll be there on top of the ride
I'll
with his
try my
phone
best.
out.
Just
I'll be watching out for...
So, Ricky, what do you think? West Ham going to beat Palace? It's going to be a tastier game.
I think so. But I do think we've got to come out and win. I am looking forward to this game. I think we should have a comfortable win based on our performances. Since the Man City game, obviously we're unbeaten. We're letting in less goals. The only risk that we have at the moment, Fabianski just got injured. He's out for 2 to 3 months.
Really?
So that could be a massive impact to our back line.
That's good news. A lot of managers perhaps don't know that. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Fabianski's
absolutely.
well up there.
It was announced today. Initially, it was only going to be maybe 1 or 2 games out. Now it looks like 2 or 3 months. Question are being asked about Roberto, our backup keeper. Obviously, he's new. We only signed him in the summer. Don't know anything about him, to be honest with you. So let's see if he can step up to the plate.
But he'll be cheap. So if we've now heard that Adrian is going to be replaced by Alisson.
Yep.
Or Allison, as
We'd
we call
like
him.
Adrian back, to be honest with you.
But if fantasy Premier League managers, if you've got Adrian, get rid of him and get the West Ham boy in,
That's
because
not
he's
a bad
going to start
shout.
playing
That's not a
and
bad
he's going to
shout.
save you a bit of money.
We've actually got a good run of fixtures coming up as well. But yeah, Crystal Palace, obviously...
1 point behind you in the table.
Roy Hodgson still, he sets up his teams quite organised and he's still hard to beat, right? But I think we have a lot more attacking threat going forwards, especially at home in front of the West Ham fans at the London Stadium. Yarmolenko's on fire. Anderson looks good. Lanzini's back from injury as well. And obviously my favourite, Haller the Hammer, I fancy him getting 2 or 3 goals.
Haller the Hammer.
What happened to Diop this weekend? I mean, he was disappointing after having 3 stellar weeks of performance before that, and then obviously conceding 2 goals, and he got a booking. Diop was a bit disappointed.
Yeah, Diop was
He ended on
disappointing
0
in terms of points this weekend, but he's still our best defender. He's solid.
So you think he's worth keeping in there?
Absolutely, yeah. He has some of the best of strikers I've seen him have in their pockets all game. I think a lot of the goals that we've conceded is not usually down to Diop's fault. It's normally the wing back. Cresswell got on the score sheet again.
He's having
2 and 2.
He's in a streak, isn't he?
Exactly, and he was.
Is he going to make it through?
He was put out the team, since the start when we lost 5-0 to Man City. He was dropped. Masuaku was brought in and stayed in the team until Masuaku was sent off. So Cresswell's grabbed his opportunity by the horns and
I do like Cresswell. He takes all the free kicks, he takes corners,
gets up
chances
the pitch,
of assists.
That was
with
a good
him.
goal. That was a good goal for it to be a
Thoroughly
great
worth
positional
it.
goal. So yeah, I see West Ham doing well. I can't say too much about Palace. I think their biggest risk is going to be Zaha. going forwards.
Just one, not to go on about West Ham, but do I keep Lanzini in there at 6.5 million? Or do I swap him for Yarmolenko at 6 million?
That's a good question. I still think Lanzini's got a lot more to give. Still the one who links up the play over the course of the season. If you're banking on one of the two, Yarmolenko's got something different. He's showing everyone he's back to full fitness, but Lanzini links up the whole of the West Ham team. I think without him in the team, we are nowhere near as strong.
Do you disagree, Neil?
Yarmolenko's in form though, right? 3 out of 4.
He's a form man.
And Lanzini coming back from an injury might be kind of getting up to full fitness, sharpness. I think you're right in terms of kind of the long haul, but I think kind of
now, yeah.
So do you balance? Do you waste a transfer of taking him out of the team and then swapping it back?
If you've got Yarmolenko, I would keep him in for another couple. Another game or two.
Like you say, he's cheaper, right? So you save a little bit of money there. You can maybe.
The good thing with Yarmolenko, if you've got a free transfer and you get Lanzini out now and you put Yarmolenko's value at the moment is only increasing.
Yeah.
So that's going to help you to then, at some point, if you do want to switch it, get him out and get Lanzini in when he starts playing. I actually think that's a good idea.
Yeah, on old Fergie.
We touched upon that.
Give me the big bucks, boys.
Do you know the deal when you sell a player at a higher price than you bought him at?
Yeah, you don't actually get that money.
You get half of it. You pay a 50% transfer fee.
That's crazy.
So if you bought something at 6 million and then now it's 7 million, you would then get 6.5 million.
See, that's just unfair. You know, that's good. That's good management. You should get that extra money. I think an email's needed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, fantasy. Carry on, Captain. What are you saying, mate?
I totally agree with you. I didn't realise that myself. That's awful. That's shocking.
I mean, I actually going to boycott the game.
That game is like Battle of the Granddads. Battle of the Granddads, isn't it? Like those two coaches, they look like they've been dug up, and like he's gonna.
Pellegrini versus Hodgson. It's like that boxing. What was that boxing one?
Like half time they were going to have a game of bingo or something.
Stick him in front of an old movie.
2 fat ladies, 88.
They'll go and have a scone and a cup of tea, and then they'll do
What's the ages there?
Celebrity death match.
To counter the West Ham, we've obviously talked about West Ham.
Palace.
Obviously, I hope we do well. Do you think?
I want to talk Palace. I like Palace.
Zaha looks really aggressive. He looked back to his best at the weekend.
I'm a big fan of Crystal Palace. I really like the team. I've watched them a few times back in England. I've been to the ground at Selhurst Park. It's a fortress there. The fans get right behind that team. They are brilliant fans. Away from it's so intimidating to play at home. You said last week Norwich are better at home. You said Villa are better at home. I think Palace are better at home. And I think when Palace go on the road, they struggle a little bit.
They can't score goals, that's the thing. They can't
score.
They can't. Ayew's probably their best striker, and he's obviously not scoring.
I feel at home, although they can't score goals, the fans almost suck the ball in because they sort of make them attack, like the way they get behind them. So I do think you're right. I think West Ham are going to win this game. We're saying Yarmolenko, maybe Haller, the Hammer. Hello. From a Palace side, I don't actually. I'm personally not going to give a Palace player for this. I don't think Palace are going to win. I think they're going to lose, and I can't see any goals. Townsend did score,
and just to say, stay away from
Milivojevic.
Yeah, he did get a good 10 points last week, but that was including a yellow card. Now 5 for the season. He's now suspended.
Really?
Yeah.
Good stuff.
That's a great shout. Arsenal, Bournemouth. Two similar teams, really.
Yeah,
the way they play, the whole attacking style. Both of them haven't got the greatest defence. If anything, I'd say Bournemouth's defence probably stronger than Arsenal's. If I'm honest,
Arsenal are going to win this one.
Yeah, Arsenal are at home. I think
at the Emirates.
Yeah, they've come off a.
Keep Aubameyang in your team.
Yeah, I think for them a good result in terms of a draw against Manchester United.
5-1.
I think the same for Manchester United, but I think back at home they'll be looking to get a result. Like you said, Pellegrini 5-1 this fixture, earlier in the year. I definitely think Arsenal are out and out winners for this game.
Yeah, I think.
But I don't feel that they've got the best defence. Therefore,
Aubameyang worth keeping a shot as captain this week?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yes, I think he's going to light up a lot of people's FPL kind of list this week in terms of transfers. He's doing it every single game, and if you tag it on to last year as well, he's been very consistent.
He's been
the form player, and he pretty much carries that Arsenal team. Matt Lawless kind of referred to it a few weeks ago, and I think he's right. Without Aubameyang in the side, I think Arsenal would really struggle, to be honest here, because a lot of his goals are quite individual goals. You know, great performances from him. You know who I like in Arsenal? Cabella. I've mentioned him a few times. He always seems to start on the bench. He comes on. I think he makes a big difference for Arsenal.
He's a good player, but he's not really bringing the points in, is he?
He's not.
Cabellos.
Did you mention Pepe in the first half of the programme?
We did not, but Captain, go ahead. You know, tell us about Pepe.
As I said, I only watched the first half, and he's just not very, his first touch is just...
I don't think he can shoot.